Yo.
We are live.
Everyone, welcome back to the RoundUp podcast. This is one of your hosts, RG.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Patrick.
We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to start off with some college football. Pat, take this over. Let's run it.
All right, I thought you were going to start it off, but all right.
Well, college football is sport, so you take over.
College football. Here we go. Week 3. Very, very interesting week. I guess I want to talk about Boston College, but we might as well start with Wisconsin and Bama. I was very, very high on Wisconsin last week, and then their starting quarterback just got hurt, and he's out for the season. Prayers up for Tyler Van Dyke. Hate to see that happen. I think it was on the first drive of the game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was in the first drive.
Yeah, and then after that, their offense couldn't do anything. Shout out to Alabama, though. Their defense played really well in a really tough environment. Jalen Milroe played unreal, too, as well. I'll say for this week, a lot of teams bounced back. We'll get into Oregon. They bounced back. They looked really good. Alabama bounced back. Looks like they're ready for Georgia in 2 weeks. I can't wait for that game. But, yeah, Alabama looked really good. Jalen Milroe, this team looks at the top of the SEC right now. What do you guys think about that game?
What do you think, RG? I mean,
What?
I thought it was going to be closer, but obviously there was the
Yo,
injury.
I got my take on the game.
Okay.
I think when Tyler Van Dyke got hurt, it just changed the momentum of the game. And because Wisconsin was driving, they're at the 50. And I honestly think they would have got a field goal, maybe a touchdown, but probably a field goal realistically. And they still got the field goal, but it just wasn't the same, you know. The momentum just, that was it. Because the backup QB couldn't even complete a pass. He was awful. I know he was probably scared. Probably his first time playing a big time game like that, but that was hard to watch. And after Tyler Van Dyke got hurt, Alabama just took over. I mean, Wisconsin couldn't get anything going at all. So yeah, I thought it was gonna be a close game too. I was kind of disappointed. I really was, but injuries happen. You can't change it. It stinks. That's my take on it.
No, 100%. I mean, this is supposed to be a hyped up game. That Alabama we know is supposed to beat Wisconsin, but it was supposed to be closer. It's kind of supposed to be that year for Alabama and for Wisconsin. Wisconsin to take the jump, Alabama to take the jump downwards. But no, it's kind of the same old. Jalen Milroe, he's keeping Bama alive. Good job by Kalen DeBoer. I like the way they're being coached right now. I think it's working out.
I mean, it would have been cool to see Wisconsin take the jump. The Big Ten is just so much more talented. USC is really good. Oregon's really good. Ohio State's really good. Penn State's up there. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard for a team like that, and I hope Luke Fickell just brings can maybe make a chance, because when Wisconsin football is good, it's fun. The Russell Wilson days, when I was a child, Melvin Gordon,
Jonathan Taylor
as well. So yeah, I mean, I miss the Wisconsin days. Hopefully they can get back. Alabama looks really good. A team who doesn't look good, which we'll get into next, is Georgia. And
crazy.
The only what I'll say about this is they always have one of these games early in the year, and then they wake up. So they only won by 1 point against Kentucky. Shout out to their defense. Their defense played really good. Their offense needs a lot of work.
Is Carson Beck that
Carson
guy?
Beck. I was like, I can't remember his name. Yeah, I still think he's that guy. Kirby's got his defense fine. I'm not worried about that. But you have in 2 weeks' time, you have to go into Alabama. You have to put up points. You don't put up points, you're not going to win that game. It's going to be a low-scoring game,
Jack,
for sure.
Just the camera.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think Georgia is fine. Obviously, AP poll came out on Sunday. They put Texas at 1. I still think Georgia is 1. Until it is proved that somebody can beat them, they should be number 1. So obviously, Georgia and Texas have to play. We'll find out who's going to win that game. But how do you guys feel about Georgia? I think they're fine. It's just one game. Sometimes in college football, you have one of those games. That's just going to wake Kirby up. And now that he's number 2 in the country, they're going to even have more motivation that he's not the best team in the country.
Well, number 1, they should be number 2 in the country, because Texas had a dominant win over the UTSA, 56-7, and Georgia won by the skin of their teeth. I mean, I'm going to be honest, they got a little lucky against the Kentucky team. Kentucky played very well at home, and they were couple possessions away from having the fans storm the field, probably taking the goalposts and doing what Tennessee did versus Bama. But yeah, I didn't go Kentucky's way. But I don't know. Like, I had Georgia winning the whole thing, but I think my opinion might be switching. Like, I don't like to switch on teams. I really don't. But I'm not too high in this Georgia team like I was. Like, I know it's one game, but like Carson Beck didn't look as good as I thought he would.
Yeah, this one game really brings up the question, like, is Carson Beck in this offense really as good as advertised? Because we know the defense is great. I mean, like, it wasn't like there was it wasn't like Kentucky really did well offensively either. I mean, they didn't. It was the offense of the ball, 13-12 football game. So is Carson Beck that guy? He should definitely be able to dice up a Kentucky defense and bring this team to an easy win. Obviously, he didn't. It was it wasn't even too close to comfort. It was just way too close of a game. So, yeah, it comes down to that for me. Is Carson Beck really that good? Is this Georgia offense really championship caliber? I don't know.
I mean, I think they're still good. I mean, look what they did week 1 of the season. They destroyed Clemson. Who knows what Clemson is right now? We'll have to see. I know they had the bye week this week. But, no, I think they'll be fine. Shout out Kentucky, though. This team was just never a football team. To go like they usually go like 8-4 every year. For Kentucky football, that's pretty good. Mark Stoops, he's doing a pretty good job down there. It's tough to build an SEC team, especially for Kentucky. Going 8-4 there is pretty good. Like pretty much every year. They've kept it close with Georgia. Obviously, he had Will Levis, who is a phenomenal quarterback. Don't think they'll ever get to the pinnacle, because I don't think Kentucky is like one of the top spots where recruits want to go. You know what I mean? I think it's like obviously the Georgia, the Alabamas, now that Texas, Oklahoma are in it. But I think he's doing a phenomenal job right there. I don't think Kentucky can get any better than they are right now.
Absolutely not. I love what I saw from Kentucky. I mean, just to hang in with this Georgia team, like, credit to the defense, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of Georgia. I'm like, wow, like this really kind of shakes things up. Not too much. They're still the number 2 team in the country. They're still undefeated, but I don't know. It's kind of tough to see. You don't see this coming from a 1 seed in the country a lot. You don't see them not dropping the game, but you don't see them in these kinds of games with teams like Kentucky. So yeah, like you said, huge testament to Kentucky as well.
You know, I'm looking at like these teams this year, like. I remember Northern Illinois went into Notre Dame and just beat them outright, and, you know, that was talked about by everyone, but, you know, I like how Notre Dame responded this week. I wanted to get to that. They went into Purdue, non-easy environment, and they won 66-7. Now, I'm saying to myself, is Notre Dame, like, still in contention for the playoffs? I don't know. Like, they got, you know, I think, don't they have to play USC still?
They have to win out, probably.
They basically have to win out after
because they're not it. They can't play for championship.
Nope.
So, yeah, I was kind of the same way. I think they can. I mean, I don't really. Can they go 11-1? I don't know. Like, they destroyed Purdue at Purdue. It's kind of a tough place to play in the Big Ten. How good is Purdue this year? I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, I really don't know what Notre Dame's gonna do. I think I could see them lose to USC. I think they'll finish 10-2, but I don't know. We'll have to see. They can maybe go 11-1. We'll have to see how they play the rest of the season.
USC, they got a tough game this week ahead of them. But we'll get to that later. But I want to talk about Ole Miss and Wake Forest too. Is Ole Miss in contention for a national championship this year?
My boy Sam Crabtree.
Yo, shout out to my guy Sam Crabtree.
He's not listening, obviously, but he big Jackson Dart guy, big Ole Miss fan. Always wears his Ole Miss shirt on game days. It's pretty funny when he's chilling watching the games. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Ole Miss has to play Georgia. That's the real test. I don't really know where Ole Miss is because they do this a lot every year. They always do this, and then they'll play a good team and they won't win. So
I think it's because of Lane Kiffin. I think he does a really good job of, like, you know, building a system and executing it. But I feel like he's kind of carrying talent. I don't know. He has talent there, but it's a very systematic offense. So I think that's what gets them against the good teams. Like it's not like free flowing. You don't have Jackson Dart, you know, really playing his brand of football. It's always Lane Kiffin's brand of football. And sometimes that can, you know, kill mediocre teams, bad teams. But when you go up against, you know, a team like Alabama or something, it's not going to work the same when you go up against that caliber of a defense. They know how to shut down within your system, and when you're asking your quarterback to do a lot in the system, when you play a really tough team and they have to step out of that system and improvise, do a lot of on their own, I think that's where the struggles begin to happen for Ole Miss. That it brings me back to the Matt Corral days. Obviously, he didn't work in the NFL because he had to do so much in that Ole Miss system that he didn't know how to play his own brand of football. He didn't know how to improvise outside of that system. So I think it's a lot of that for Ole Miss year after year.
I mean, what's gonna I don't know, how good is Georgia this year, like we talked about, but what is gonna happen when they play that defense and maybe their offense isn't working? Now, what do? Can your defense come up big? I don't know. How good's that Ole Miss defense?
You seen it?
6 points against Wake Forest, not too bad, but I don't know. It seems like, and maybe they'll get over the hump this year. I don't know, but every time they play a good team, they can never win. So that's what we got to look out for.
Well, first of all, Jackson Dart is a senior quarterback, correct? He's a senior this year.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
He's a veteran. He knows, he's been around the college football game for a little bit now, and I'm looking at Ole Miss, right? And this team got to go to LSU still. They got to play Georgia too. So I mean, the way I'm looking at it, at LSU is one of the toughest places to play, and I'm taking them to be LSU. I mean, you guys can disagree with me. I'm taking them to be Oklahoma too, at home. I mean, I don't really see them losing. Maybe one. I see them losing 1 or 2 games in this schedule. And at home, why can't they beat Georgia? Why? Why can't they beat them this year?
Because
Georgia's offense looks horrible.
Because Georgia is
looks horrible.
Georgia's the pinnacle of college football right now with Nick Saban gone.
Well, I mean, okay, but who would you rather have in your QB right now? Jackson Dart or Carson Beck? If you had to choose, who are you picking? So I'm taking Jackson Dart personally right now. I mean, Jackson Dart been balling. Yes, they haven't played anyone good yet, but I'm saying still, they got to play Kentucky in 2 weeks. Kentucky's no joke. They almost beat Georgia.
I mean, I would rather have. I'm gonna fix your question right there. I'd rather have Kirby Smart as my head coach.
Well, I agree with that. Oh no! Listen, I agree with Kirby Smart is the better coach.
Right now, it's Carson Beck.
No,
Jackson Dart.
No, I disagree with you. I disagree, but I rather
Georgia will always find a way to win a game though.
Okay,
unless they play Alabama.
Okay, but there's
a Nick Saban Alabama.
Does Jackson Dart have that type of defense that Carson Beck has? I'm just saying, you gotta look at all these factors. Let me pull up.
Hey, we'll see what happens when that game comes up.
He threw for 377 yards and 2 touchdowns against Wake Forest. Yes, I know it's Wake Forest, but still, those are pretty good numbers. I think they're good numbers at least. So I mean, I know what you're saying. Carson Beck definitely, he might have more potential, in your eyes, but I don't know. I really, honestly, rather have Jackson Dart on my team being the quarterback. I think he's elite. I do. But we'll see what happens. Ole Miss got another easy game ahead of them.
Matt Corral looked pretty elite in that Ole Miss system. We saw what happened to him in Carolina and the NFL.
True. Well, no, I'm not saying for NFL quarterback. I'm saying for college.
No, I'm just kind of saying how I see it.
Oh,
I feel like Jackson Dart may be benefiting from the Ole Miss system.
Yeah. I'm going by the better quarterback in college. I'm not saying the future. I'm saying
I still stand. That's still my point.
Yeah, I mean, I am.
Because who's the Heisman right now? Who's the Heisman? If we're really gonna have this argument,
I mean, if the Heisman was right now, probably Jackson Dart. But it's way
too early.
That's way too early.
It is too early.
Quinn Ewers is up there. Actually, we have to talk about Quinn Ewers.
He's hurt.
He got hurt.
A big sample.
You might have to get the.
Oh my God! But could you imagine? Arch Manning takes them to the championship and they win it.
That'd be nuts.
Could you imagine that? No, Quinn. I think Quinn Ewers is gonna be fine. He's not playing next week. They're not playing. They're playing UL Monroe. They're gonna put up 70 points in that team. He doesn't need to play. If I'm Steve Sarkisian, obviously do not play him next week. I think he'll be fine. I mean, like I talked about, they have a really good backup. He hasn't got a lot of reps. But I mean, this team is really good. They went into Michigan. They won in the Big House by a dominant fashion. Are they the best team in college football right now? Associated Press thinks so. I don't really know. They're definitely top 5 in the country for sure. They could be. But like I said, until Georgia loses, I can't bet against Georgia. I just can't. They're the pinnacle right now of college football. They obviously had a little of a slip up, but I mean, I personally think they're gonna be fine. But how about the way Boston College played against Missouri? How about that game?
That was phenomenal.
I am very pissed off the Associated Press for not even having them ranked this week, because you only lost to 7 to an SEC team, a team that has so many veterans, a team that could honestly maybe win the SEC. That team is pretty good. Missouri is a phenomenal team, and then you're just gonna take. I mean, a loss is a loss, but you're gonna take them out of the polls. I mean, I think they played really good. And like I said on my TikTok, I think Boston College football can win the ACC. I really think they can. Miami's really good, but I'm sticking with my thing. It's going to be Syracuse and Boston College ACC championship.
See, I disagree.
I think it might be.
See, I disagree here. I think it's. Listen, I know you think Syracuse is like really good and all, but like, I don't know. Like, who have they put? Yeah, they beat Georgia Tech, but like, can they beat Miami and Boston College? Can they beat those two teams? I don't know.
Well,
I don't think so.
We'll have to see about that.
I think Boston College has a shot to be a top 18, 20 team this year. This is like, do I think they can make the college football playoffs? Probably not this year, but if Castellanos stays next year, I definitely think they can make the college football playoffs. Because more guys are going to want to go there under Bill O'Brien. It's a great education, number one. Number two, you're in the heart of Boston. And number three, I mean, this is the first time they're actually good in a while. And last year they almost beat Florida State, and that was 1 year ago today, actually. Believe it or not. That game was 1 year ago today, and that was almost a heartbreaking loss for my Florida State Seminoles, but we'll talk about them later. They stink. But,
I'm in love with BC football right now. I think they're a phenomenal team. I really hope they keep this momentum up in the ACC. They're gonna have a tough stretch when they play Louisville and Syracuse. Both games are at home, but those are really tough teams. They also have to play Virginia Tech at night. You know that environment. Enter Sandman. That's a very tough environment. That's going to be on a Thursday night. So they still got a lot of tough games left on their schedule. But the way they played against Missouri, and listen, I said that they were going to lose. They were going to lose. But I said if it's within 7 to 14 points, this team can win the ACC. And after watching that game, there's no doubt about it. They can win the ACC for sure. And then, what other games are this?
Missouri dropped in the rankings, by the way. They went from 6 to 7. I was a little surprised with that.
Well, because they didn't look dominant, especially in that first half. It was looking like Boston College could come away with that game.
Yeah,
true. No, you're not wrong, but I think people underestimate BC.
LSU and South Carolina. At South Carolina, my dad was at that game.
Really?
He sent me a few videos. That was crazy.
Yeah.
SEC football was legit.
Well,
Legit.
Yeah, I should have watched.
How was the atmosphere?
It was crazy. He sent me a few videos. Like I said, SEC football.
They do Sandstorm.
Yeah,
which is cool. I think that's their pregame. That is really cool. I did not watch those highlights. I don't know why. I knew it was like a back and forth game. LSU won.
South Carolina booed that game.
Yeah, South Carolina.
I can't believe they booed that game. And he missed the field goal by like inches. I couldn't believe it at the time. I wanted South Carolina to win that.
I hate Brian Kelly, so that was tough.
You know he's from Everett, Mass, right?
Yeah,
Ryan Kelly?
I found that out the other day.
And Ryan Day's from New Hampshire.
Wow, crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And actually, I think Chip Kelly's from like.
I think he's around here.
From like around here too.
Yeah, Dover, New Hampshire.
Wow.
Pretty close to Merrimack.
We can get into one more game, and then we'll head on to.
I want to talk about
Oregon State, and then we'll talk about Florida State to finish.
Oh.
Oregon looked really good. Like, can they keep this up? Like, that was a rivalry game, a tough environment against Oregon State. They call it the Civil War. I think that's like such a sick name. But I mean, Dylan Gabriel looked good. I thought it was going to be close. I really did. It seems like Oregon is finding their way. Like I said, Notre Dame found kind of their way this week. Oregon looks back. Alabama looks back. So those are three teams that had a little bit of slip-ups. And like I think Georgia in 2 weeks is going to look really good again against Alabama. But yeah, Oregon looks fine. Now, when I said, can they beat Ohio State, I was like all the way down here. I was like, no chance. Now I'm like, okay, we're kind of like middle. They got to keep this up, obviously. But It's looking better that they can beat Ohio State. The game is at home. That game is coming up. That's going to be unbelievable. But yeah, Dylan Gabriel looks really good. Put up 49 points on Oregon State. So
That was at Oregon State, too.
Yeah, shout out Oregon.
Oregon. But I want to get that one team. My Florida State Seminoles. I'm disappointed. Like 0-3. You lost to Memphis at home. Memphis, aren't they in the American Conference? I forget what conference, whatever conference they're in. That was a disgrace to football. Come on now, Florida State paid that team over $1 million to play them, and you just got embarrassed on your home field. This DJ guy from Florida State, I'm not saying the last name. He doesn't get. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, he doesn't even deserve that. He's horrible.
And apparently, I saw it today. Apparently, he started the rest of the season.
No. You know what? If
That's
he starts
insane,
the rest of the season, they're going 0-12. They're not
He's
winning
so
a game.
bad. He's
They
actually
won't win a
horrendous.
game. This team. I'm telling you, they won't with this quarterback. He's horrible, and it's sad because you know what destroyed Florida State? Not making the college football playoffs. It destroyed the whole program.
Yeah.
And it's gonna haunt them forever.
But whose fault is that?
What do you mean, whose fault is that?
Whose
That's
fault
that's
is
the
it?
committee's fault. What are you talking about?
I don't know, but
Listen. They should have been in the playoffs and went undefeated, and they won the ACC.
And the Connor Stallions cheat in Michigan team would have destroyed them.
exactly.
Probably. I bet you they would have.
I have some different.
yeah, but no one was beating Michigan last year. You keep saying
Both
somebody
of these
could beat
subjects are
Alabama
tough.
could have.
Both of
Here
these
we go.
A
subjects.
few mistakes.
could've.
But no, they
absolutely
legit.
could've.
They
Absolutely.
honestly, they should have won that game.
They were one play away.
They should have won that game.
Was-
They had the lead.
No, I know
They
you
didn't
guys.
get. I think they were up by like 14.
What was the
I think
score
they
that
were up
game?
with they were up by like 10 points with like 8 minutes left.
Hold on.
Like,
It was 27-20 in overtime.
okay, look at what was the score in the fourth quarter.
10-7 Bama. So I mean, no, listen. Okay, Alabama. Okay, they had one loss coming into that playoff, but I mean, Milroe had 116 yards passing and no touchdown passes that game. McCarthy had 221 yards passing and 3 touchdowns.
All right, let's not talk about this Connor Stallions team over here.
Okay, I mean,
anyway.
no, I know what you're saying. Alabama's defense, they did what they could, but like Michigan had Blake Corum too last year. He had a great game, like 83 yards and a touchdown. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah,
It's so
Bama,
easy when you know what
like,
plays
listen,
coming.
I'm gonna say this from an unbiased standpoint, okay? And I agree, Alabama would have put up a better fight versus Michigan and Florida State, which they did.
Yeah.
But if Jordan Travis didn't get hurt, don't count that Florida State team out. Just don't.
Yeah.
They were good that year. Jordan Travis could have easily put up a fight against that Michigan team. I'm not saying they would have won, but they could have lost by a touchdown or two. I'm telling you, that Michigan
Florida State.
with
last
Jordan
year?
Travis, with Travis. I said with Travis.
I still
I don't
don't
know
think
about
so.
that.
I think so.
Alabama was a play away. Washington wasn't necessarily close. Texas.
Washington wasn't even close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they were better than Washington with Travis. I think they were.
I mean,
Maybe.
when your team knows every play that's coming, it's kind of
Yeah.
easy to go 12-0.
But like,
Yeah.
listen, Bama and
Let's be
Georgia.
honest.
No, I'm gonna be honest. Bama and Georgia, yes, they would have put up a better fight than Florida State versus Michigan. But that's not the point. You're discrediting the whole team.
Well, Travis
We're
got
undefeated.
injured, and the offense looked kind of rough. It looked like a completely different offense and a completely different team without
No,
Jordan
like,
Travis.
Like, I get that, but like, I'm saying that Travis didn't get hurt. They could have been the 3 seed, honestly. They may
Yeah,
not
but
have
Travis
been
did get hurt.
I know. But I'm saying like, I mean, they still won without him, but like, it just wasn't in dominant fashion.
I get it. Did you see today?
What happened?
Mike Norvell. He said DJ's giving them a chance. He said he's only been giving them a chance. to
Giving
win
them a
this
chance, huh? He
I know,
stinks.
crazy.
He's crediting him though.
How are you crediting this guy? He's just.
So
His
bad.
fault. Is
He's
the offensive
horrible.
line performing well?
He didn't. Jack, this guy. If you,
I will
if you
say-
please pull up his highlights, watch this guy.
Well, is he under pressure all the time?
He overthrows so many guys.
in
His,
clean
pockets?
his deep ball's terrible.
Clean pockets.
Yes, his
Open
deep ball's.
receivers.
Well, I mean, they're not. Listen, they're not Keon Coleman or like
But they're open and he's in clean pockets. Because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been watching Florida State football.
Versus Georgia Tech, it was disgusting to watch. He missed 2 guys for. If you rewatch that game, he missed 2 guys for 40 yards on a deep ball. He's horrible.
Jeez.
No excuse. And this is why I'm mad at Florida State. You're a 5-star school for college football. Go out there and get a quarterback, even if it was a freshman. Build the quarterbacks. Now, who's going to want to be the quarterback for that team next year after they go maybe 4-8? Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm disappointed, but I could talk about the moment.
Yeah, anyway.
Let's move on.
Let's move on to week 4.
Anyways, this is my favorite game of the week right here. Illinois and Nebraska.
No, it's my favorite game of the week.
Well,
what do
it's
you
mine
mean?
too. You know why?
Dylan Raiola, baby.
Because I think this Nebraska team has
Putting up, they're gonna put up like 50 points on this Illinois team. No, honestly, no. I think it's gonna be close.
I think it's gonna be really close.
I wish they're not there yet, like blowing out teams. Yeah. I think Nebraska gets the win, but I think it's going to be within like 7 to 14 points. I don't really know how good this Illinois team is. I'll be brutally honest. I haven't really watched them. But yeah, like I said, I want this team to be undefeated when they play Ohio State. Maybe they can shock the world. I would love to see that happen. So I just want them to keep winning. Dylan Raiola is him. He's really good. It is crazy. Like, he just mimics Mahomes, though. Like, his, like, intro is, like, everything. It's just funny. It really is. But I don't know. I mean, he slings it like Mahomes, and he is a dog. So give me Nebraska in that game.
He's kind of backing it up. I'm not going to hold
I know.
against
He
him.
kind of is.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
if he wasn't backing it up and he was playing, like, DJ Uiagalelei, however you say his name out there, then, that'd be a different story. But he's kind of backing it up. He's
playing
really
great.
good. He's really good.
You know what? This might be my hot take of the day, but I think this team can make the college football playoffs. If they go 10, if they go 11-1 or 10-2, why not? I mean,
I think they'll probably go 10-2, but
probably
I mean,
10-2.
maybe 11-1. There's a chance.
who do you think they lose to? Ohio State and who?
I mean, like, I want obviously them to beat Ohio State. I think they probably will lose that game. And then I think they have to play like
We checked their
USC. I think too.
They could be USC.
I don't really know. I know that.
They kind of have an easy schedule. They gotta play at USC. Yeah, I don't know if they win that. All right, so maybe 10-2, but those two losses are like ranked teams. So, maybe I think they could be a top 15 team for sure, though. I really do believe that. And next year they're gonna be even better. So.
Yeah, and guess what? We got good old Big Noon Saturday, 12 p.m. Marshall and Ohio State. Ohio State's gonna put up 80 points. I feel bad for Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson because they have to call that game. They're gonna be bored at halftime. I don't know why that's at like prime time. Their big game this week, but I don't know. How do you feel about that? They're gonna win by like 80 points.
That's the college football game day.
Well, it's like their Big Noon Saturday. Yeah.
They're actually going there for. You're joking.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 80-0.
That's the college football game day.
Well, like that's the Foxes. No, not game day. Like,
Well, I'm about to say.
no, but like
Why?
it's Fox's big game.
Why are they even playing Marshall? Why? It's a waste of time. Come on.
And then what is it? Utah and Oklahoma State, right? Yeah. So I don't know if my brother is listening, but he got a false claim on Twitter. I thought Cam Rising was hurt. I think he is, but I don't think he's out for like 6 weeks. I don't know if he's playing this week. If he is, give me Utah. But this game is going to be a shootout. Both these teams put up so many points. It's probably going to be like 62-56 as a final or something. Oklahoma State's quarterback is he's really good, putting up some really good numbers. I mean, like I don't know if Cam Rising's playing this week. If he's not, give me Oklahoma State. If he is, give me Utah. I mean, that's just the difference.
I agree with you. Well said.
So
Cam Rising got a point to beat that team. Oklahoma State can score points, so I'm going to take Utah.
and then
If Cam Rising plays correctly, so.
USC and
Michigan.
Oh, damn.
You know what?
I'm gonna take USC.
We have the same mind today, huh? But
Yeah.
I'm going to explain why I'm taking USC. Michigan doesn't have a quarterback, and, they can't really put up points. So,
That's true.
USC can easily beat them 21-17 or something, so. Yeah, I'm taking USC, man. But
USC looks very, very good this year.
You know-
I did not think they were going to be that good, but they are. USC, they go to their schedule real quick. I think they can finish 11-1. I really do. They right now they're going to destroy Penn State the way they're playing, and Penn State has to play them on the road.
I mean,
yeah. This team can go 11-1. They're beating Notre Dame. Oh, okay. They have to play Nebraska, Notre Dame, Penn State. That's kind of a tough.
and Michigan. They might lose 2 of those. But yeah, we'll see.
This team could maybe go 11-1.
Lincoln Riley's their offensive genius. So
who's the dude? Their quarterback's unreal.
Yeah, he is pretty good.
I forget his name, but is there any other games?
Miller Moss.
Yes.
Miller Moss is such a dog. I love Lincoln Riley's offense. Man. It's so fun to watch,
dude. It's incredible.
You're forgetting a very key game, and I want to get to this game.
Put it up. I can't see.
Shout out to my boy James Hollis for going to this game, but
Clemson.
Clemson.
He's
and
going?
North Carolina,
Yeah.
He's going. Clemson and North Carolina State. This game right here can be a big game in the ACC. The ACC is very weak this year. And can Clemson make a statement on Saturday, or can North Carolina State shock everyone? What do we think here?
James's brother goes to Clemson. I don't really like Clemson though. They just kind of annoy me. Sorry, James. I know you're probably not listening. Grayson McCall, absolute dog. Give me NC State, baby. They're gonna beat Clemson on the road.
Yo, what? Speaking of this, North Carolina State starting QB injured. A freshman is starting at Clemson.
Oh, wait. Who's? Oh, never mind. Give me Clemson. I didn't see that. Never mind. Clemson's gonna win that. If Grayson McCall was playing, then it's a different story.
Right on Grayson McCall to beating them by 28 points. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Clemson by 28.
I'll take Clemson. I wish.
But,
I'm gonna cheer for them to lose, but.
And then Oklahoma and Tennessee. Tennessee been
Oh,
rolling.
yeah.
They've been rolling.
Tennessee is gonna win they might win by 21 points. This offense is absolutely absurd. I mean, Brent Venables is my guy. He's trying to build up a team right there, but I don't know how good they are just yet. Jackson Arnold's their quarterback. We'll see. They are at home. Maybe this game's gonna be closer. I think this is the night game on ABC. I think it's at 7:30, but yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna say Tennessee by 21 plus points. I mean, this offense is unbelievable. They've been absolutely blowing out teams. And then last week we didn't even mention it, but Kansas State beat Arizona by like 21 points. They got this quarterback with like one hair or something. Kind of looks like Sunshine from Remember the Titans. I don't know if you know who that is, but yeah, they looked good last week. Kansas State can make the playoff. Honestly, they can maybe even win the Big 12. They've been playing some really good football. But honestly, that's kind of week 4. Well, go Cornhuskers, roll Nittany Lions.
The NFL segment. I want to start off today. I want to say I never seen injuries in the NFL like this past week. Cooper Kupp on the IR, CMC on the IR, Debo Samuel's going to be missing extended time now. Breaking news.
Oh no. 1 second. Oh no.
Justin Jefferson might be out a week. Amon-Ra got cramps. I don't know, ton of injuries this week. I've never seen anything like this in the NFL. All these star guys getting hurt. Something to talk about. The turf of the field. You think that has anything to do with some of these
Oh, of
injuries?
course.
Some of these fields are not in the greatest condition, and I think the NFL got to do something about that. And
Absolutely. They don't care. They're in here for the money.
Well, they should start caring because their star
They
players are losing.
They won't. They care more about the money.
Well, I mean, when you lose your star players, I mean, fans are gonna have less interest. But these star players are getting hurt, and I'm saying to myself, there's no way there should be this many injuries in the NFL. But it's definitely the turf of the field, and especially that type of turf. Torn ACLs happen, hamstrings, and a bunch of other stuff, And I don't know. I want them to do something about it, but I don't think they will. Because, Roger Goodell is kind of I thought he was an okay commissioner, unbiasedly. But, I'm starting to think, he only cares about the money.
I don't know why you thought that. That guy's a bum.
I mean,
he's a horrible commissioner.
He's an awful commissioner.
I disagree with both of you. I do. I think he's okay. If we're going by the commissioners in all these sports, he's definitely in a higher tier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So hard to compete with.
What do you mean?
All these commissioners are money-hungry bums who make the fans unhappy.
What do you mean so hard to compete with?
The fans are always unhappy because the NFL and the NBA and the
Who
NHL,
makes the most money?
They prioritize money.
The NFL.
That's what they care about.
That's why I'm
They
saying.
don't care about generating the best product. We know this.
Yeah,
They
but
care about the money.
that's why I'm saying Roger Goodell is not as bad as you got make him. Listen, I'm a Patriots fan too, but like, he's better than some of these other commissioners. He revenues
They're
money.
all trash.
Well, I mean,
That's why NCAA sports are better than professional.
Well, I think that's an even worse organization, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other conversation. But I mean, what do
That's
we
a whole other
what do we expect? What do we expect from America?
But anyways, let's get to some of these games. I want to start off with your Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, Jack, I have to bring it up. But 44-19. What's up with that?
The Cowboys defense. I mean, well, first I'll say, I thought this New Orleans Saints offensive talent coming into the season. I think the Saints are talented. They have Olave, Kamara, Carr. Like I like these guys, Shaheed. But the offensive line was what I was worried about. Clearly it's not as much of a problem. Coming into the season, I thought this was literally the worst offensive line in the league.
Yeah.
So, and it hasn't been. Cesar Ruiz has been impressive. Guys have been impressive along that front, and that's huge because you face a defensive front like Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. It's not a good matchup for your offensive line, but hey, they won the matchup yesterday. Derek Carr was able to get the ball out. They ran a lot of play action. That was very good against the Cowboys. And yeah, I like Derek Carr. I like these guys. The Cowboys, they let up big plays, and this is what happens when you're poorly coached and all this. And it's not Dak Prescott's fault. I'll say that.
No, I agree with you.
It's the same old Cowboys, though.
You know whose fault it is?
I wouldn't bet on this game. I was trying to put a parlay together, and I refused to put the Cowboys in this because I was like, I don't know. Last week against the Cleveland Browns, a dumpster organization, and we had plus odds, I was like, oh yeah, give me the Cowboys. I'm all in for that. But against the Saints, kind of like a trap game.
It was a trap game.
It was, and I didn't put that in my parlay for that reason.
Sorry to interrupt real quick, but Marcus had opened the phones. Marcus wants to call in.
All right, bet.
I don't know how to do. I don't know.
Can he hear us?
Yeah, he texted me.
He can hear us right now. All right.
I guess he's listening.
Well, before you bring that up, is it time to is it Bill Belichick gonna come in, or do you still believe in Mike McCarthy?
Oh no! I never believed in Mike McCarthy. No.
All right, so Bill Belichick will come in this year, right?
I doubt it because I don't think Belichick.
Wait. This year. You think you're gonna fire Mike McCarthy middle?
They should.
The season?
They should if they want to make a deeper run in the
let me
playoffs.
make this
Jerry
clear.
Jones gonna do that?
Let me make
He's
this
not
clear.
going to because he's probably the worst owner in NFL history.
I don't know.
Not history, but
Let me make this clear.
Nah, he is. He's the worst.
How is he the worst in history? He's a 5-time Super Bowl winner. What are you talking about?
Let me make this
was
clear.
the last time? Okay, well,
In the 90s, they were dominant. Come on.
the 2000s, he's the worst. He's the worst. NFL.
Okay, whatever.
We'll say that. We'll
Okay.
say that.
Let me make this clear. I never believed in Mike McCarthy before he was hired, at any point during his tenure as the Dallas Cowboys head coach, and now, and in the future. I never and will never and have never believed in Mike McCarthy. He's a garbage head coach. I want to make that clear.
Okay.
Well,
So he's the problem. But obviously, somebody had to hire Mike McCarthy. So yeah, Jerry Jones is a problem. That's how I feel about it. They're both a problem.
Well, I don't like to say this, and I don't like to talk negative about some team, but like, the Cowboys are going nowhere after that game yesterday.
We know this.
Like,
Are you
like,
surprised?
Yes, I am surprised.
Why are you surprised? This
With that game
same old
yesterday.
Cowboys.
What are you talking?
The Saints have
you think
talent.
the Saints are more talented?
The Saints have a good defense, and as long as the offensive line performs, they have a very good offense. If the offensive line is trash, they don't have a great offense, and it's a completely different team. Like I said, we came into the season, the Saints were projected as one of the bottom 5 offensive lines in the league. We have not seen that.
Well, Kamara been a star so far.
Kamara's always a star. Kamara's always a star.
Yeah, but he's putting up ridiculous numbers right now.
He's playing behind a good offensive line and a check down Merchant and Derek Carr.
Speaking of Derek Carr, he's playing great.
He's a baller. He always has been. He always has been a great quarterback.
He shocked me this year. I always thought he was overrated, but right now, he's playing pretty good. I'll say that. I always thought he was overrated, but he's playing.
He had
a good start to the season.
This is a long way back, but back in 2016, he had an amazing year with Amari Cooper and those guys. He led them to 13-3, and then he got hurt. His last 3 years in Vegas, 2020, 2021, 2022, he was a good quarterback. He was a really good and, most importantly, underrated quarterback. People didn't know how good he was. Me personally, I did. He's a great quarterback. Last year, the reason him and the Saints struggled so much, the offensive line terrible. One of the worst offensive lines I've ever seen last year. That's why Chris Olave's fantasy potential didn't last. That's why Kamara got injured. That's why Derek Carr had a bad year. It's the truth. And so if this Saints offensive line continues to perform, they have a good defense. They have offensive talent. Dennis Allen, he's been through the reins with Sean Payton. I believe in this Saints team. I think they're a playoff team, so long as the offensive line performs.
You know what? If their defense probably did it yesterday too, they keep it up against a good offense like the Cowboys. Why not? Why
It's a
can't they
really
be
good
playoff
defense. We came into the league as a really good, we came into the season knowing that the Saints are a really good
team?
defense.
Yeah, that division might be up for grabs. You get the Falcons,
Absolutely.
Bucks, and
Absolutely.
Saints playing like this.
Judging by how the Falcons looked in their lone game this season last week, bad. We'll see tonight.
They're gonna win tonight. And
We'll see.
I'm gonna get to that point
We'll
in a little bit. I'm gonna get to that point in a little bit, but I got them tonight, and I'm gonna explain why. But I don't want to get to that yet.
All right, let's we're in New England, so let's talk about this Patriots game for just a second. I thought Jacoby Brissett was gonna die out there, dude. He got hit so many times. This offensive line is so bad. The Patriots' offensive line is horrendous. He needs a lot of help. I know he limped off to the sideline, and I was like, oh my God, Drake May's coming in, let's go. And then
No.
And then he was fine.
That would not be a let's go moment, by the way.
Well, I know how you feel, but honestly, like
I agree with Jeff.
If Jacoby Brissett,
I know, but I kind of just want to see how he plays.
Okay.
I want to see how he plays one game.
No, you don't want to put Drake May in with that offensive line. No, you don't. Listen, this guy is going to be possibly a star in the NFL. If you give him an O-line, listen.
We're getting a call real quick from
Go
Marcus.
ahead.
I'm going to answer this. Marcus C.
Hey guys, just going back to the topic about the field conditioning and whatnot. I just want to know your thoughts on. Do you guys remember the Brazil game between the Packers and the Eagles earlier in the year when they were flipping all around?
Correct.
That was a normal grass field because it was a soccer pitch, right? I'm just wondering if you guys believe that we should go in the NFL to a grass field to minimize injuries, but have a bigger risk of players just slipping on plays because. You guys, if you remember that game, there was a lot of players slipping and whatnot. I wonder if you think the NFL should make a permanent change to that, or you think that there is a different method that they can minimize these injuries. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. So Marcus is asking, so the Eagles and Packers played in Brazil, and obviously there's players slipping everywhere because there's a grass field, still getting adjusted. So he thinks, should they run turf and risk the injuries, or should they run grass? And, risk players slipping all over the place. And my answer to that is whatever the players want. If the players think grass is the way because they're getting injured on turf, absolutely it should be grass. If the players are like, no, we can't play on this grass, it needs to be turf, then it should be turf. But it seems like the players want grass. I want grass. I want what the players want.
You see, I disagree with Marcus on this one. That Brazil game with the Packers and the Eagles, you know how many slip-ups and injuries were in that game? Like I never seen that many injuries in a game, NFL game in a while. Everyone kept on slipping. It was a grass field. I don't know if it rained before. It may have rained before. If it rained before, then I agree with Marcus's point. But I don't know if it did. So,
well, what are all the players' opinions? Do people have different opinions, or because if
most guys hate the turf because they get injured?
Well, I mean, if you've been watching the NFL this past week, especially with the turf has not been good. But the grass wasn't even that good either. So I don't know. They got to figure something out. I mean, I don't know what they can do. And this is a great point Marcus brought up, and I appreciate him calling us. But, I don't know. The grass field, everyone kept slipping. And it must have rained before. I totally forget. Because I was in Wisconsin. I was actually having dinner during this football game.
It was awful. They were falling everywhere.
They were falling everywhere
From the beginning.
But I don't know. If it was raining, I get why the grass was slippery. But if it doesn't rain, yeah, I'm taking grass. But if it rains, then I don't know. Probably turf. It just depends. I think.
Yeah, that's
because there's water on the grass and it makes it slippery. So
absolutely.
But anyways,
I want what the players want. I'm very, very clear on that. But back to the Patriots Seahawks. So you said the offensive line, it looked terrible. Yeah. It looked awful. Jacoby Brissett was getting banged up. But he knows how to kind of deal with that in a way. I mean, they're coming close to winning these games. They're 1-1. We didn't even expect that. Let Jacoby Brissett take the hits. He clearly knows how to deal with it at a better in a decent way. Plus, you don't want Drake May taking those hits. You don't want him getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's exciting. You want to see him get in. You want to see him get the reps, but that's still where I stand. The offensive line doesn't look great.
I mean, I think they should have won that game on Sunday. I mean, when they got the ball in overtime, like, all right, let's go down the field and score. That was a horrendous drive. Our O-line did not do us any hope. And then, like, obviously, the Seahawks got the ball back. I mean, what's his name? Jackson Smith.
And Jigba.
Yeah, whatever his last name is. He just cooked us on Sunday.
DK too.
We could, DK cooked us as well. Their running back was phenomenal too.
Charbonnet.
Shout out to their run. I mean, I don't know. And like I talked about, like it's just crazy. Like last year we were in these types of games and we lost every one of them. And last week those are the type of games we used to lose and then we won. And now this is the type of game we should have won and we lost. So are we back to that? I don't know. Thursday night football, we're playing the Jets. I think we could win that game. I really do. I know you guys are really high on the Jets.
I was really high on the Jets. I make that clear. I'm very disappointed.
Well, we'll get to that.
Every time
we'll save that.
And listen, like people are gonna disagree with me on this. Every time I watch Rodgers is washed. Honestly, he can't really move that much anymore. Like he's just I watch him now and I see his age. I really see his age.
I do.
I don't really think he's as dominant as he used to be. Everyone is so high on the Jets. There's so many people making their Super Bowl picks. I don't know what people are seeing if they've watched the last few games with this Jets team.
Now
you have. So the Bills are gonna win the East. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm not too confident, but I think the Jets game will be close. Listen, if we lose, you lose, but I don't think by any means Rodgers is just absolutely gonna cook us. I think it's gonna be a very close game.
Well, it's a division game, number one.
Yeah.
Number two is a short week. And number three, the Patriots been running the football phenomenal. I don't know if you guys been seeing it.
And stopping the run.
Yep. Gibson and Stevenson been very well running the football. And that's how the offense is flowing right now. You know, like I said, listen, you get this guy, Will Campbell, next year. I pray to get Will Campbell from LSU. This offensive tackle was phenomenal. You maybe sign a wide receiver in free agency. You spend some cap money, couple more pieces to this team. Give them a few years, they could be a playoff contention team.
Absolutely.
With Drake May there, I'm high on Drake May now because I saw him in the preseason, and I think this guy's a baller. Like, I thought, at first I didn't really know much of him, but then I watched him in the preseason, and this guy can play. And I don't want him seeing the field this year at all. I mean, even if the game's tied with 2 minutes left, I don't want him seeing the field.
I mean, you do feel bad, like, when they show him on the sidelines, he got the headset on.
No, don't feel bad.
No, I know
bad.
he's learning, but like whenever I see him, like you could tell he's like, I want to be out on that flipping field.
Absolutely.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
He's a competitor. He probably hates putting that headset on, and he probably understands that he has to learn.
You got to learn. Listen, college and NFL is a big adjustment for quarterbacks, and a lot of great QBs sat the first year when they got drafted. All right, and I think it's better. I think it's better that way, in my opinion. You learn stuff under a veteran like Jacoby Brissett. He might not be the most talented QB, but he's one of the smartest QBs. And you guys might disagree with me on this, but he does a lot of smart things on the football
he's smart.
field.
That's why he's still in the league. Absolutely.
He's one of the most higher IQ QBs. Now, does that mean he's a top half QB? Absolutely not. Not even close. But he doesn't do a lot of mistakes out there.
Absolutely. No, you're right.
That and Drake May learning from a guy like that, it's phenomenal. It's great. I love it.
Absolutely.
And I hope Brissett starts the whole season because he deserves it.
It's a guy who knows how to take the hits as well.
Absolutely.
He deserves it. Exactly. He deserves it. He's had 2 seasons where in 2017 as the Colts starter, he went 13-7 touchdown to interception ratio. In 2019, 18-6. Back in his days as backing up Andrew Luck, eventually he turned into the starter. And then on Cleveland with the Browns in 2022, he threw 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So he's had a decent career. Last year he threw 3 touchdowns to no picks. Finished with a 146.8 quarterback rating.
I mean,
this isn't a bum.
He's a smart quarterback. Now, is he more talented than a guy like Dak Prescott? No, absolutely not. But I'm saying, he's a good system quarterback. Good system quarterback. You know what I mean?
And
Absolutely.
speaking of the AFC East, the question everybody wants to know, it's been talked about for the past week and a half. Should Tua retire? Personally, I think he should.
I think he should.
And honestly, listen, maybe he probably won't say yes to this. Tua should retire. Mike McDaniel, you better go on the phone. At least try to call Tom Brady. No, listen to me. With this
Come
offense,
on.
though, they would win a Super Bowl. Tom Brady
Yeah.
might look at this offense and be like,
absolutely.
"Oh my God, this is the perfect opportunity for me to win an 8th Super Bowl." I'm just saying.
I think we
If you're Tom Brady, this is the perfect scenario to come out of this broadcasting booth, which you're getting shamed for. And I haven't watched any of the broadcasts. I mean, they're gonna shame him for everything. If you're Tom Brady, you come out of retirement, you play for this Dolphins team, you're probably gonna win the Super Bowl with this offense. It's probably gonna happen.
I'm not genuinely entertaining the
I
idea.
disagree so
I'm
much.
gonna take
on
the
that.
idea and throw it out
Really?
the window.
I disagree
But
so
at the
much.
But at the same time, if you put Tampa Bay Tom Brady or just Tom Brady as an NFL quarterback in this offense, wow, it's the perfect offense.
It's the
for him.
perfect
It's
offense
perfect.
for him.
It's
Okay,
perfect.
but what year are we in now? 2024.
Oh no, that's where it cuts me off.
Like,
I can't.
Why?
No,
Because
he's too old.
Is he too old though?
He's too old. He's too
No,
old.
he
If
is.
he-
He's
no,
been out of
he's
the league
not.
for like 2 years now.
He's been out of the league for
No,
2
he's not.
years.
If he came back to the league, he would still be probably the best quarterback in the league.
Absolute. That's
Yes.
What?
He probably
That's
would be.
insane.
Yeah, he would be.
What?
insane. No.
He is the greatest quarterback of all time. You put him
Yeah.
on this
Stop.
Miami's
Yeah,
Dolphins
I agree
team.
with that,
You
but
put him on this Miami's Dolphins team, he's gonna look like a magician. He probably will be one. Now he's top 5 at least if he comes back.
No.
100%. Yes.
Wait.
Are you serious?
No.
right now?
I don't know
Yes.
if he was top
What?
5 when he retired.
not even close.
When he won the
Not
Super
even
Bowl, yeah.
close.
Name 5 quarterbacks better than he was when he retired.
Mahomes,
Allen,
Allen, Lamar, Stroud, Burrow, Herbert,
Wait. He
Dak.
said, yo,
Oh, he was not better than
Yo,
Herbert.
wait.
He was not better than Herbert
Herbert
when he
is better.
retired.
Wait,
Herbert is
hold
better.
on,
No,
wait,
he was not.
hold on.
Absolutely
Yo,
not.
you saying right? He said like when he retired.
When he retired.
Stroud
yeah.
was he? I don't think Stroud was in the league yet. Was he 2021 or 2022?
Or
was he a rookie?
I thought we're saying like if
No,
Brady
no,
comes
no.
back in right
We're
now.
saying when he retired.
He's-
Josh
he's a top
Allen.
10 quarterback.
Josh Allen, Mahomes, Lamar. Okay, who else was a top QB?
It was like 5 to 10. He was like, I remember he was in that 10
He's
range.
probably like top.
You guys are
top.
crazy, man. You guys are crazy.
I mean,
Brady was better than Lamar, even in his last few
The
days.
Cowboys wiped him in the playoffs.
Okay.
The Cowboys in the playoffs.
Okay. I mean, it's like he's had a ton of losses before. I mean, that was bad. I'm not gonna admit to that. But
That's how he went out.
oh, Jalen Hurts was probably better too.
He
At the
was.
time. At the time, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying,
We're
perfect
missing somebody.
perfect scenario.
Oh, Herbert was probably better that year.
I don't know. Yeah, he was.
So like, you're telling me
Stafford.
you put Tom? Oh yeah, I forgot about Stafford. You put Tom Brady on this Dolphins team right now. They're Super Bowl favorites. Stop.
Oh yeah,
Stop it.
they're
Stop
going
it.
to the. Stop
Stop
sounding
it.
like Stephen A. Smith.
Stop
over here.
it.
They're going to the Super Bowl. Are you serious? Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh my
Okay, wait.
God.
With
yeah.
2022 Brady?
No, we said right now, Brady.
No.
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 Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're
Oh
not.
yeah. They're going.
You
Yes.
just-
100%.
Do you realize how much it is for the adjustment for not playing football for 2 years? He's probably still in shape.
It's still
but,
Tom
like,
Brady.
it's
still
Tom
Tom Brady. He
Brady,
can zing
but
the ball.
like, yeah, I know that, but he doesn't have the arm strength like he used to. Come on.
All right, moving on. I think
I mean, that's a valid take. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Maybe
my
2022
my
Brady.
brother also said maybe pick up Mac Jones, put him on the Dolphins. He has
Ooh.
that connection with Jalen Waddle.
No, that's too
That's what my brother said.
That's
That
a
wasn't
more,
me.
Listen,
Yeah,
It's not a
that's
bad
more
idea.
reasonable.
Matt
That's
Jones
more
in this
reasonable.
offense, I love it.
I
love
like
that
that.
take.
No, I like that.
They just signed Tyler Huntley. What are you
He
doing there?
stinks.
He's
No, he doesn't
horrendous.
stink.
He stinks.
He doesn't stink.
He stinks. Come on.
I'm excited to watch Tyler Huntley in this Miami offense, but I would
No.
love to see Mac Jones in this.
Oh, I think
Miami
Mac
Put
Jones
Mac
is great for
Jones
this
on this
offense.
team, man. Oh
Get
my
both of them,
God.
man. But regardless, we also had the Bengals Chiefs. I wanna say something real quick.
I did not watch that game. I should have.
The Bengals beat the Chiefs. Let me say something real quick. The Bengals are not a team people should be writing off. Like, why are we writing the Bengals off?
What do you mean? Like, listen, okay. the Bengals are 0-2 now. They got to win this week, which we'll get to later. But, like, see, this is the problem I have with NFL. I have a very big issue with NFL. How they like to rig games for the Chiefs. It always comes down to a controversial play, and the Chiefs always get the call. And that football was not catchable, and they still called it. Horrible. I don't think you called that in the last possession of the game. And it was 4th and 16. You don't just bail them out like that. Like, I understand they're at home. I understand they're defending champs. I understand Taylor Swift makes the NFL a ton of money for the viewership. I get it. I really do. But, like, it's getting to a point, like, do I even want to watch the Chiefs play football anymore? Like,
Well,
I guess, they're going to have the refs by their side. They're always going to get these controversial calls. It's just, like, it's sickening, It's just hard to watch. And, not to discredit Mahomes and all, but, like, I mean, without these controversial
but
calls.
you're also saying the same thing. Like, listen, when the Patriots won 6 Super Bowls,
No, it wasn't like this.
No, the amount of
it
calls.
wasn't like this.
The amount of calls we got. There was like a minute left in the game. AFC Championship 2018. The Chiefs are winning. Brady throws a pick. Pass interference. Defense. Come on. I don't know if that even was a pass interference call. That wasn't the best call. Listen, I think
it was legal use to the hands.
Listen,
Frank
I
Clark.
get what you're saying.
Yep.
But
Wait, hold that play.
we went through the same thing. We went through the same things when we were going. We got a lot of calls during our dynasty.
Absolutely.
A lot of calls. Now they're going on the dynasty, and the NFL probably wants them to keep winning. So they're gonna get a lot of calls. That's what happens when you're a dynasty now.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
speaking about,
but the Bengals look back.
Well, they have
The
T. Higgins.
The Bengals looked. I mean, they played awful against the Patriots. They played really well.
But what did I
against
tell
Chiefs.
both of you?
So
You said they're making the Super Bowl. Don't change your pick.
I think
I'm gonna back you up
still
there,
will.
all right?
No. Because I want to get one thing, and I'll let you go real quick, Jack. They don't have a running attack at all. None. They can't run the football.
That is something. But listen, the Bengals are not a team people should be writing off. They're not a September team. We know this, all right? In Burrow's career in weeks 1 and 2, he's 1-9. He never starts the season out good compared to Mahomes' 12-2 in September,
Okay.
the weeks 1 and 2. Yet Burrow is the only quarterback to ever beat Mahomes in the playoffs, besides Tom Brady twice. So why are people worried about the Bengals? They still have the same head coach, the same QB, same 2-star receivers who they went to the Super Bowl. This was the only team that ever beat Mahomes in the playoffs besides Brady twice. Ever. And this makes Burrow the only quarterback not named Brady or Mahomes to even make it out of the AFC since Peyton Manning in 2015, 9 years ago. Like, that's insane. If you will go deeper, besides Brady, Mahomes, and Manning, Burrow's the only quarterback to make it out of the AFC since Flacco in 2013, 11 years ago. That just puts into perspective how good Joe Burrow is. He's so elite. And it puts into perspective why there's so much elite talent in the NFL, like Lamar and Allen, who can't seem to overcome the playoff woes. The playoff woes are just Mahomes and the Chiefs. That's all it is. So it just puts into perspective the landscape of the NFL and the AFC specifically in their quarterbacks, like how dominant Mahomes is and how impressive it was for Burrow to make it out of the AFC even once. It's crazy.
Well, you know what? I do give Burrow credit for that, but this Cincinnati team, they don't have Joe Mixon anymore running the football. They have no running attack at all. You'd think a Zach Moss starting running back and Chase Brown can get them to a Super Bowl.
The way they've performed these past 2 weeks, I am a bit concerned about the Bengals as true Super Bowl contenders because of their lack of the running game. However, mid-season acquisitions, they can always come into play, either in the offensive line or in the backfield itself. But T. Higgins coming back will also just inevitably bolster this offense as a whole. So you can look at it two ways. Like, they are getting Higgins back. They could trade for something on the offensive line or in the backfield at running back. But I don't know. I mean, to your point, RG, you also didn't get the greatest game from Mahomes, which ties into the fact that the Bengals defense, the talent's never through the roof. However, they always perform. They always perform above expectations and keep them in tight games like this. Like, Trey Hendrickson's on the roster, but other than that, there's not a lot of eye-popping talent on this Bengals defense, and there never has been. But even in 2021, there never was when they went to the Super Bowl. And that defense was a strength of the Bengals in the playoffs. Like, even though it wasn't built to be a strength, it always kind of ends up being a strength, which is interesting. So, I don't know. If they can improve the running game, how can you write this team off? You can't. I don't know who's available. Whether they sign someone on the offensive line, whether they trade for someone on the offensive line, whether they go get a running back in free agency or by trade by the deadline. Be interesting. I think they should. They should trade for another back because Chase Brown and Zach Moss are not getting it done.
Well, I mean, Zach Moss has always been a backup running back. I mean, he's not a starting running
You're not
back
wrong.
caliber.
You're not wrong.
So, like,
He did have a really good year last year in Indianapolis in
Yeah, I
Jonathan Taylor's absence, but again,
Yeah.
that's in Jonathan Taylor's absence.
First of all, the Colts have one of the best offensive lines in football.
Maybe
Add
the
on to
best.
it.
Yeah, top 5, top 3.
That's why and the Bengals are not even close to that. So I just wanted to add that real quick. But
And with Shane Steichen calling the plays, you don't have Shane Steichen in Cincinnati,
No.
especially after losing your offensive coordinator Brian Callahan to the Titans. But they do still have Zach Taylor, still have Burrow.
I know what you're saying, but I don't know. I think they need a running attack.
I do too.
I
It's
need.
concerning.
Yep, I agree. But there was a lot of games this week. But I'm a little scared for this Baltimore Ravens team. They're 0-2 now, and they have to go to Dallas this week. You had a 17. No, was it 17? I'm trying to remember the score real quick. I think it was 16.
Yesterday,
Yeah, they had a lead against the.
they were up by a
16
few
to 6.
points. It was a close
It was 16
game.
to 6.
Yeah, it was 16-6.
Okay, and they booed again at home. Now I'm starting to say to myself, is Derrick Henry getting frustrated with this team? Is this his type of team? Lamar Jackson likes to run a lot as a quarterback.
The Henry usage is weird. It's
Huh?
weird.
What?
The usage of Derrick Henry, the way they're using him.
It is weird.
The dynamic between Lamar and Henry and Justice Hill. You have Justice Hill in there a lot when they're running shotgun. Because obviously Henry's an under center running back. Like, you want to hand him the ball and block for him. But you want Lamar in shotgun. So it's kind of weird how you have to work that out. It's really weird. And the offensive line was not making it better. Like, the Ravens' offensive line yesterday got dominated by the Raiders' front. Max Crosby was wreaking havoc. And the Ravens, they couldn't run the football consistently. Whether it was Henry, whether it was Justice Hill, whether it was Lamar Jackson, they kept Lamar Jackson passing the ball, and it did damage. There were some penalties on the Ravens' offensive line as well. Like, the Raiders had 3 penalties for 15 yards. The Ravens had 11 for 109 yards. That's a huge difference. There was crucial penalties, too, that just set the Ravens' offense back. And it was definitely a huge factor in the game. But Lamar, he didn't have the worst game in the world. He made some nice plays through the air, but the Raiders' defense, they turned him over. They were causing havoc at the line of scrimmage. They did a really good job of keeping him from running very effectively. And the Raiders, they have a good defense, and they did a very good job of stopping the Ravens. Like, I guess when you stop the Ravens' rushing attack between Lamar and Henry, you let them pass, you hold them to field goals. Good job with the Raiders. That's how they won it. Max Crosby, he was wreaking havoc, and the Ravens couldn't run to save their life.
Yeah, that was a little bit disappointing, but that I think they'll figure it out eventually. You got Lamar Jackson still, they'll figure it out. But
Did you watch the game though? It was concerning.
I didn't even watch it.
Like, Max Crosby was tearing that up. The offensive line couldn't block anyone. Henry wasn't going anywhere. He had a few good splash plays, but that's because he's Derrick Henry. I mean, we were talking before the season started, and we were saying the offensive line is a concern, but they have Lamar and Henry, so it's not too much to worry about. I don't know. It's something to worry about when you're going against the Raiders. They have a good defense, but it wasn't close. Like, it was a close game, but it shouldn't have been. That's what I'm saying. The Raiders kept it close with that defensive front. The Ravens couldn't run the football to save their life, and that was their downfall. Made them pass. They couldn't get the ball in the end zone, similar to how they were at the end of the Chiefs game. Hold the Ravens to field goals. Make them pass. I'm worried about this Ravens team. I'm worried.
We'll see. I mean, it's still early. Team struggle right away.
I think the stock for the Buffalo Bills is through the roof.
I told you. You
Through the
guys
roof.
didn't agree with me.
No, I did. I just had the Jets win the division.
That's
That's what I
a.
said.
I was on your side.
Were you though?
Yes. RG, what have I been saying about this Bills team?
You were high on the Jets, dude.
Oh, I was high on the Jets, but I was also high on the
And
Bills. I had them
Rodgers
win
can't
12
even
games.
move for his life,
Yeah,
dude.
I know, but Josh
Money
Allen,
should retire.
All right, let's not go that far.
he might want to, but
I also don't like Rodgers, so.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
Yeah.
you. But I don't know. Regardless, even if I was high on the Jets, I was also high on the Bills. I had them winning 12 games, second in the AFC East. But the stock's through the roof. Stock is through the roof. They've beaten 2 good teams so far, 2-0. Josh Allen, he doesn't need these superstar receivers. Like I said, he doesn't need Diggs. He doesn't need Davis. He just needs a running game. Let James cook. He needs an offensive line that's going to protect. He needs a good collective group of receivers that you're not paying a bunch of money to. Keon Coleman, he's been great as a rookie. Curtis Samuel, he's solid. Khalil Shakir, he's the guy. He's the guy. People slept on him. So as long as the defense performs, Josh Allen and James Cook, they're going to cook. And this Bills team remains the second. They remain the second team to the Chiefs in the AFC.
Oh, I disagree with you. I so disagree with you with that take. You forget about the Houston Texans.
No, I watched them last night.
Okay, and
The special connection between Stroud and Nico Collins was on display. But other than that, they couldn't run the football very well. The Bears defense, credit to them, they're a good defense, and they kind of shut C.J. Stroud down at points in the game last night. They were shutting down the receivers because they knew they couldn't run the football all that effectively, especially with Joe Mixon getting injured at some point in the game. But even before the injury, I mean, Mixon wasn't cooking. Stroud, he made some great plays. Like I said, the Stroud to Collins connection was on display last night. It's special. But Tank Dell, he had a crucial drop on third down. It wasn't a perfect ball, but should have been caught. Could have been a touchdown, honestly. It was, do you guys know what play I'm talking about? It's 3rd and 4, early in the third quarter.
I missed the game, but
I missed the second half.
He extended the play. He hit Dell, and it was Dell couldn't hold on to it. But that changed the course of the game. That was at the beginning.
Yeah, but Houston's defense played well.
Houston's defense did play well, but I'm not putting them above the Bills until I see this running game emerge.
Well, they played the Bills
Because this was a good defense in the Bears that they had to test, and they won the game. They're solid. We know the Texans are solid, but they couldn't run the ball well. I would have liked to see more of Stroud in the passing attack, but he played solid against a really good defense. Would want to see more out of their offense though. Although they dominated. Caleb Williams on the other side of the ball. Caleb made some nice throws, but he also had some misses. I really wanted to see him hit. However, that's how it goes for talented young quarterbacks, especially when they're behind rough O-lines. But most importantly, the offensive line was terrible. Terrible. Caleb was under distress all game. They couldn't get anything going on the ground. DeAndre Swift couldn't get anything going on the ground for his life. They could not run the football. But although the offensive line was bad and they couldn't run the ball, Caleb was nowhere near perfect himself. DJ Moore and Rome Odunze, I don't know if you guys saw, but they looked frustrated often. Like, Caleb would make kind of like a ridiculous pass that had no chance. Although it wasn't Caleb's fault completely, but they would... Odunze and DJ Moore were frustrated. You could tell. So, yeah, lots to work on for this Bears offense, but...
And they'll be fine in a few weeks, I think.
Dude, Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson were all over Caleb. They were terrorizing him. Like, this is what happens. Bryce Young, he just got benched because they put him through hell last season, and it's kind of what's going on with Caleb, although I'm not quite as worried. Caleb's not 5'11".
Carolina's just a mess, though.
Yeah, oh, my God.
Like, I don't blame that on Bryce Young at all. Obviously, they had Matt Rule. He flipped into Nebraska. They're having coaching issues over there. I feel bad whoever is the quarterback.
Right.
I think that's a worse situation than we had in New England last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's atrocious. They're
Similar.
going to go 0-16.
Similar.
Probably. Maybe they'll win a game, but highly doubt it.
You think that team's winning the game? I don't know.
Probably not. The way they've been playing, it's so bad.
I mean, their schedule does them some favors, but, like, are they going to beat the Commanders right now? No. Are they going to beat the Giants right now?
Maybe they can beat us, but
I wouldn't pick it.
probably not. I would still take us against the.
I'd take
I don't
the
think
Pats.
we're playing on that.
I'd take the Pats. I'd take the Giants. I'd take the Commanders. The Panthers are the worst team in football right now.
By far.
Worst. It was horrible, and they benched Bryce Young for his own sake because when you look at him out there, he can't do anything. He doesn't have a chance. He obviously entered the league with talent and potential, but the Panthers have quickly ruined that by placing a rookie quarterback under 6 feet tall, behind a pathetic offensive line, bad receiving talent, 3 head coaches in the span of 19 games. Bryce should file for grievance and sue David Tepper and the Panthers for ruining him and his chance at generational wealth.
Well, breaking news right here. Jawan Bentley out for the year. Patriots linebacker has a torn pec.
That sucks.
Nice.
That sucks.
Make matters even
That
worse.
sucks. He's a really good linebacker, really good at stopping the run, crucial for that defense.
So-
He's a leader.
One more about the Patriots. We talked about this like before on the show. Do you still want them? I know you. Do you want them to tank?
Absolutely.
Do you want them to tank?
He's not Patriots.
No, I like what they've got going on right now. I think they're going to win a few games, get a high draft pick, even if they do ball out to the best of their ability, like I think they are right now.
Now, I'll say this. Shout out Pat Casey. I don't think he's listening, but I listened to his show last year. He made a really, really good point when we weren't playing that well. He's like, we wait around all year for football season, all year for the Patriots, and people just want them to tank. And he was like, no, I want them to, like, actually, like, try to put up a fight every week. Phenomenal point. I'm gonna send this to him because he did say that. That's a great point that he made. I'm the same way. It's like we wait all the time, and then I don't want them to go 0-16 or 17, however many games they play now. Like they've won a game, but I don't know. Is it fun to watch it when they're not playing good? No,
absolutely not.
Like I want them to put up a fight. I know you want them to tank RG, but like, how is that fun? Like, you guys know how I feel. Like, I'll watch, like, the playoffs. The NFL playoffs is good. Maybe I'll watch, like, a Sunday night game. But all I watch is the Patriots, and then, like, I do other stuff on Sundays. Obviously, there are other people who will watch the NFL the whole day, which is fine. I know you do it, and a lot of people do it, and they love it. But I watch the Patriots, and that's it. So, I want them to be successful, and I don't want them to tank. RG, I want to hear this from you because I don't know. I want them to, even if they lose and they're giving effort.
Listen,
I don't know.
Let me rephrase the tanking thing. Okay, I want them to be competitive. I want them to put up some fight. But there are some games I don't care if they lose. I want this guy Will Campbell from LSU. Okay, you put him on the offensive line. You get a wide receiver in the second round. Or in free agency, the Patriots are gonna have a ton of cap space. You might be able to even get another offensive tackle in free agency, and you already have Ramondre Stevenson and Gibson in the backfield, and you give Drake May protection. He should have ball up, and I want to see that, and I want them to be really good again. Because I think Drake May can be that guy, but can we be really good with Jacoby Brissett? Absolutely not. I'm sorry. I don't like to say this and be negative, but we're not going to be good with Jacoby Brissett.
Absolutely
He's not a Drake May.
Absolutely.
And I'm just being honest, and this is why I don't care if they lose. Like yesterday, I was saying to James after the game, like, you mad they lost? Like, yeah, I'm mad they lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's mad they lost, but like I said to him, I was like, they put up a great fight. Like they were very good. They were very competitive. I'm not mad at all.
Exactly. This is a team.
What do you expect us to go this year?
This is a Patriots team that can run the football and that can play really good defense and stop the other team from running the football. Of course, you're going to try and win the game, and you're going to keep yourself in a lot of tight games. But Jacoby Brissett dropping back behind this offensive line, throwing to these receivers, it takes away the ceiling. It limits you at like 4 or 5 wins. Absolutely, even though you can run the football and you can play good defense. But that's kind of the point. You have a lot to play for. You have a brand new rookie head coach, Gerard Mayo. You want to win for him. You want to develop everybody. You want your guys to get better so that Drake May can come in. Jacoby Brissett's just a bridge quarterback. So You're not tanking, but you're throwing your bridge quarterback out there knowing you're not winning more than 4, 5, 6 games if everything goes perfect. So it's really just about that. You're competing. You're trying to win these games, but you're not going to win a lot of them. But you're developing talent. You're staying competitive while setting the reins up for Drake May to come in to a perfect situation and take that team over the bridge that Jacoby Brissett is kind of segueing them into Super Bowl contention. That's what Drake May is going to take this team. You want Jacoby Brissett and this team to go as far as they can so that when you're winning 5 or 6 games potentially, staying competitive and bringing a lot to the table, Drake May takes you that 10 game. Then you win 11. Then you win 12 and you're a Super Bowl contender. That's what it's going to go like over the next few years.
This is the thing I'm going to say about it. So Thursday we got the Jets. I think we're going to win that game. And then we have the 49ers. Listen, we're 2-2. What's going to happen after that? We got to play the Dolphins, a 2-less Dolphins. Can we beat the Dolphins at home? Maybe we're 3-2. We have to play the Texans. I don't think we win that game. Then we're 3-3. I mean, I don't know. Is it like I said? I mean, I don't know how this season's gonna go.
You shouldn't just be trying to lose. Get Will Campbell next year. That's not what you should be doing.
Listen,
you're gonna get a good draft pick anyway. Maybe you get Will Campbell there when you win 5, 6 games. And you have a lot to play for. Gerard Mayo is a rookie head coach.
Yeah.
These coordinators are fighting for their spots in the league. Like, there's a lot to play for. No one tanked.
No one tanked. Besides the Giants. I think they're gonna beat the Jets. they're not going to beat the Niners. I honestly think they can beat the Dolphins at home,
They could.
and then they're not. They might be able to beat the Jaguars. They got to play the Titans, the Bears. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. You don't know how this season's gonna go. You really don't.
You know, and I don't like to be this guy because, like, you're probably like, you know, I'm a Patriots fan, but I'm not like a diehard Patriots fan, like a diehard Celtics fan. You're probably a diehard Patriots fan. I respect it, but like, listen, we're not making the playoffs this year. But they'll be lucky to get 5 wins, man. Listen, that first week against Cincinnati, if that was week 8, we lose by 2 touchdowns. We know Joe Burrow's not a week 1, week 2 quarterback. As Jack pulled up the stats, that was a fluke. Okay, the game against Seattle, they played well. They played very well. Okay, and they lost by 3 points. And if that Joey Sly field goal doesn't get blocked, if the offensive line was doing what they were supposed to do, they win that game. They're 2-0. But no, the offensive line stinks.
All I'm trying to say is if they beat the Jets and they lose to the 49ers, I don't know what's going to happen. But if they lose to the Jets, lose to the Niners, that's the season. That's the season right there. But if they can split those games, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well,
I really don't.
I think they're going to beat the Jets on Thursday night, surprisingly. I think they're going to surprise people. I really do. I got them winning this game, actually. Sometimes heart beats talent. That's all I have to say. And this is going to be one of the examples. The Patriots are going to win this game 13-10. It's going to be a very low-scoring game. I'm taking them this week against the Jets. I think Rodgers hasn't faced a defense like the Patriots yet this season. And I think the running attack for the Patriots should be very well against the Jets. I'm taking them to beat them in an upset. It should be a massive upset, too.
I don't know. I think the Jets are going to kind of pull ahead. Reel themselves back in here. I'm not in on them as Super Bowl contenders the way I've seen Rodgers play. I was expecting him to be like MVP Aaron Rodgers. We haven't seen that yet. Maybe he gets back into it. Whatever. I think this is going to be. I think the Jets win by about a touchdown, maybe a little bit more. Just because I think Aaron Rodgers is that much better than Jacoby Brissett. I think everywhere the teams are similar, but the Jets passing offense is just so much better. I'm going to take them at home. They really need a win like this to get back on road on track. I'm taking the Jets. And tonight I'm taking. Let me think about that actually. Eagles, Falcons.
I'm taking the Falcons, and I'm going to explain why to both of you. A.J. Brown's out tonight. You're going to have your number 1 corner on Devontae Smith. And the Falcons.
He's an elite corner.
Yep. And so the Falcons are going to be expecting to run a ton tonight. Can Barkley have a phenomenal night? Tonight is going to be determined if the Eagles win on Saquon Barkley. Can he be that guy tonight? Can he be that guy like he was against the Packers? Because if he is, they're going to win by a touchdown or 2. But if they can stop Barkley, they're winning this game, the Falcons. I'm saying it now. They will win tonight if they stop Barkley.
Absolutely.
So that's my take on it. But I get the Falcons by a field goal.
I think it's
maybe a touchdown.
I think it's going to be a really close game. I'm going to take the Falcons because A.J. Brown's out too. I think A.J. Brown's so crucial to this Eagles
I agree.
offense.
That's why.
I'm going to take the Falcons. But in a close game. I think Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, they keep the Eagles in it, but I don't like the Eagles defense enough to pick them without A.J. Brown. I don't like the coaching. I don't like the defense enough.
Yo, what's the call-in number? I know my cousin wants to call in.
Let me see.
Call-in number's 978-296-3245. It's on the wall. I wish they changed it, but yeah.
You got it. 978
296
296.
3245.
296 3245.
All right.
Nice.
All right, I just sent you the number if he's listening.
Nice.
Yeah, he's going to just ask a question. And then I kind of want to talk about the Red Sox before we head out.
Word. I just want to get to a few more
Yeah.
games.
We can keep talking about the NFL.
Let me see.
Red Sox. I don't even know if I want to talk about them, but
What are we thinking for NFL power rankings wise right now?
Is he on or not? Maybe he didn't get it.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
I heard something.
Tell him to give it another call. But yeah, NFL power rankings wise, are we thinking the Chiefs are 1?
Yep, Chiefs are 1. They're defending
I
champs.
think the Bills are 2 right now. Okay, we're getting a call. All right, let's hear it. Pat, you answer this one.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Charlie?
What's up, Patty Max? How's it going?
Doing good.
Yeah, so I'm just calling in to talk about the option offense.
So if you guys don't know, my cousin goes to West Point. He goes to Army, so they run the option offense for
Okay.
the football. So yeah, Charlie, you can ask it.
So I'm wondering, did you guys see the fake field goal option pitch play
The
a couple weeks ago?
The fake field goal option pitch play.
From what, West Point?
What?
Yeah.
I can look it up.
Nah, I actually didn't. I actually didn't.
Fake field goal option pitch play.
Nah, I never seen that before actually.
You guys did not see that. It was a touchdown. It was like 30 yards.
Was it? Hold on, I'll look it up right now. All right, I'm watching it. So what? Do you have a question like if does the option work? Is that what you're asking?
I'm wondering if you guys think that type of offense could make it to the college football playoff.
The option offense?
No.
Hey.
Not even from a sub-conference, like a sub-conference. Like non-power 5, group of 6.
Out. Hold on.
All right, I'm watching it right now. Hold on.
Wait, you talking about Army?
Yeah.
Oh, Army's actually not bad this year. Aren't they undefeated? I think they're undefeated.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good this year so
I
far.
just watched. I mean, listen, that's a really good trick play. Listen, I mean, they're unbelievable at the option. Hey, they're undefeated. You said.
Yeah, that's very
They
low.
are.
Okay. I mean, listen, if they keep winning, I mean, maybe this team can make the college football playoff.
No. They're
No,
not-
hey,
They don't have a hard enough schedule to do that.
You never know.
They don't have the strength of schedule to make the
Hey,
college.
they're playing Notre Dame. Playing Notre Dame.
I mean, I do play Notre Dame.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
Wow.
if they beat Notre Dame, maybe they can go to the playoff.
Alright, let's not. It's too early. I think they could be a top 25 team, respectfully, though.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. How's college been? Good.
It's good, I'm holding on.
That's good. Yeah. I actually, we got a question for you since you're on the air. What was the hardest workout you had to do at West Point during boot camp?
The hardest workout?
Yeah. What was the hardest thing you had to do at boot camp?
I don't know, probably wake up 4:45 every day. I don't know, probably the 12-mile ruck at the end.
12-mile ruck.
That's
Think
hard.
about that, boys.
5:45 a.m. in the
That
morning every day
that is crazy to do. I don't know how you do it. That's unreal, dude.
It's very slow, blisteringly slow.
Yeah. But hey, you're in phenomenal shape. Like I said, you could beat me in a race right now. There's no doubt about it. So
I appreciate it, Patrick.
yeah, of course. Well, hey, I appreciate you calling in. Call in anytime.
I'll try to call in every couple of weeks, all right?
All right.
I'll try to listen every week.
All right, sounds good.
Shut out West Point.
Shout out
Thank you,
West Point.
fellas. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure.
Have a good one, man.
Have a
Take
good
care, alright? But Jack wanted to mention another NFL game. What game we talking about here?
Cardinals Rams.
I want one thing before you say what you want to say. This Marvin Harrison, people, don't disbelieve in this guy. He's special. Okay? And this Cardinals offense with Kyler Murray in him and James Conner in the backfield and the defense playing the way they did yesterday, why can't this team win 7 or 8 games? Why? Why can't they?
7 or 8
Or 9. Maybe 9.
or 10 or 11, dude.
Alright, let's see.
In this division with how bad the Rams are looking, and they've got guys like Trey Benson out of the backfield as well behind James Conner, Michael Wilson on the
I
perimeter
give
with
it a
Marvin
year
Harrison
before 10,
Jr.,
11 wins.
Greg Dortch. I think they could win 9-10 games absolutely in this division. Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a special connection, and this is a really good offense in Arizona with those guys like James Conner, Trey Benson. I don't think this is the Rams' year. Between the defense not being very good, the offensive line having a little bit of question marks, the Puka injury takes away the power of the offense. Now Kupp is injured. This is not the Rams' season. Stafford did not look comfortable in the pocket last night against the Cardinals. But yeah, this Cardinals offense, I think the Cardinals are going to finish above the Rams in the standings. I think the Rams are really going to be disappointing, and I called it before the year started. I'm sticking to it. But yeah, regardless, this Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. connection is a special connection. This is a really good offense for the Cardinals. They're really good. The defense, I'm not sold on. I think this was a little bit. I think it's a legit win, but I also think it's a little bit of a trap game for LA. I think the Rams pick it up. Like I don't think they're going to lose 40-3 every game. I don't think that's going to happen. No.
You know, I want to say one thing real quick. I want to apologize, and I usually never ever do this, but I thought the Rams would have 10, 11 wins this year. I thought the Rams would have 10 wins, but after these first 2 games, like I didn't know Nicole and Cup were gonna get hurt before the season started. But don't get me wrong, like they weren't even like competitive. The Lions game they played well, but like that was all garbage time, though, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
And their schedule, they got to play the Niners twice, the Seahawks twice, the Cardinals again. I don't want to apologize for that take yet, because I think that was one of my worst takes this year. But as of right now, it's looking like I owe Jack an apology, because he said the Rams would get 7 wins at max, and I'm starting to agree with him.
And I also said this is going to be a top 10 offense in Arizona.
Yeah, you just said it. Well, I'm talking about the Rams, though. We were talking about the Rams a lot. So.
Obviously, I didn't know the Cup and Nakua injuries were going to happen, but I saw Aaron Donald retire.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I saw the depth chart on this defensive side of the football for LA. Not impressive, but yeah. Did I think this was going to happen? No, but yeah, that's what happens when your 2 receivers get injured. But yeah, like this, I told people to hold on to Marvin Harrison Jr. I told people. He's a top 5 receiver prospect ever. We saw what Jamar Chase did as a top 10, top 15 prospect ever at the receiver position in his rookie year. Led a Super Bowl offense. Marvin Harrison Jr. is even better. Special.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why people gave up on him after Kyler didn't target him. After Kyler Murray, the 5'10" guy who has a brain of his own, he didn't target him in his first game. Oh no. If you didn't hold on to MHJ fantasy wise, you don't know ball. Sorry. I told you hold on to him. I told you. He's special. He's already argued. There's a lot of receiving talent in the league, but he's going to climb his ladder up. He's going to climb that ladder up into the top 10 receivers within the next year, and that's a crazy group to be in. There's 15 elite receivers in the league right now. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. This guy's special.
Special.
And a lot of rookies don't do good week 1. They're scared. There's adjustments, and that's normal.
Still working in. And when Kyler Murray's your quarterback, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We got anything else, or are we all set here?
I think we're pretty much all good. Is there any games we need to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about at all?
RG, before we go. If the Red Sox need a sweep, we need a sweep bad. Red Sox Rays tomorrow. We are somehow still in this. 4.5 games back. The Twins are winning right now, 3-0, which doesn't help us. But, oh man, do we need a sweep bad. I'm still believing, but if we lose 2 out of 3 or whatever, it's over.
Well, we lose 1 game to Tampa, it's over at this point. Actually,
Yeah.
2 out of 3. If it was 2 out of 3, it's over. I mean, just no exceptions. And they got to sweep the Twins now, too, because they put themselves in this hole. So, I mean, listen, the Red Sox, they overachieved this season already. I'm proud of them. Even if they don't make the playoffs, I'm looking forward to next year with Ramon Anthony coming up. You get Machado Meyer, great shortstop prospect. Hopefully, he can replace Trevor Story. He's not he stinks in my opinion. But not defensively, but offensively, he can't hit a baseball anymore. And and Kyle Tell will be he'll be a great catcher for us. He's one of our prospects. I mean, Danny Jensen will probably be gone. We'll probably keep going along, but next year's teams will be good. They just got to go out and get a pitcher, like Corbin Burns for the Orioles. We should sign him to a big deal. Because the Red Sox are missing a few starting pitchers, in my opinion, to be that elite team. They climb in the baby steps, but they're not there yet. But that's all. Though. I mean, we'll find out next Monday where the Sox are going to be. We'll find out, and
absolutely.
That's it. And Falcons are going to win tonight. That's all. That's my opinion. But I hope it's a good. I just want a good Monday Night Football game. Honestly, I want a good game.
Absolutely.
So,
entertaining game.
That's it, though. But thank you, everyone, for listening today.
We'll try to be on time next week.
We'll be back next week.
We'll be on time next week. And we might even try to get another show this week if we can. We got busy schedules, me, Jack, and Pat, but we'll see what happens. But I appreciate everyone who tuned in. Much love.
Peace.
Yes, sir. See you, everyone.